All right, we are recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday night team call, June 18th. What? 12 more days remaining in June to change as many lives as possible. I was nice enough to give you a little countdown on our leaderboard of how many days we have left. We have 12 days, you guys. I see all these names flooding the June leaderboard. Honestly, June has been a little rough for me compared to last month. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because newsflash, Amy and the rest of the leaders on this team, we're all human, you guys. Like, we all have these months where it's like, what the heck's going on? But those are the months where I'm like, all right, normally I would freak out and let this like defeat myself. But if you are having a tough month, if your name's not on this board, or you're like, girl, I'm doing all the things and I'm just not getting the kind of response that I want, we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, okay? We're going to talk about pushing ourselves beyond the place of, discomfort, because we don't do that. We're like, people normally reach to where they're comfortable and then like they're good. But we're going to talk about that a little bit more. If you are new on the call, welcome. We're so excited to have you here. If you see a number 2 next to somebody's name, that means they helped one person get started changing their lives with a challenge pack. So on the board with 2 is Hannah, Christina, Leslie, Patty, Lynn, Samantha, Megan, Amy, Ryan, and Alex. Those are one person. So Alex, you got 4, girlfriend. Glenn, AKA Amanda, has 2. Rainey has 2. Ashley Albeck has 4. Amazing job, you guys. I'm on the board with 6. Cassie kicking butt with 6. Another Cassie, Cassandra Wagner with 8, Amanda 8, Kaylee 8. We changed 32 lives so far in June. And we also have 13 new coaches that came onto our team, which is so exciting, you guys. When our team grows, everybody in our team benefits from it. I don't know if you guys know this, and Ashley can explain it beautifully for you. But when other people underneath you, when other coaches underneath you sign up business builders or earn Success Club points, you could be earning volume from those people, and volume equals cash. So you guys aren't growing this team alone. When you have a coach sign up after you and they're on the same leg as you and they're starting to build a team, you're going to see your volume increase, and it's so exciting. So shout out to Cassandra Wagner for 3 new coaches this month already. Girlfriend, you have to be close to diamond. I have to look, but I mean, you've got to be like that close to diamond. Kaylee on the board with 2, Alex 1, Amy 1, myself 1, Ashley 1, Cassandra, Glenn, Megan, and Patty Spitzer all have 1 new recruit this month. So awesome job, you ladies. Got together with the leaders a little bit, and we're like, they said, hey, do you know who the coach of the week is going to be this week? And I was like, no, not yet. I didn't get that far. And they're like, Alex. I'm like, yes, I agree 100%. So Alex, we are blown away by you, girlfriend. Like, you are showing up, you are pushing yourself, you are doing the uncomfortable things. Just keep plugging at it, girl. We are so, so proud of you. I wanted to talk real quick about these numbers, and I wrote down on my paper, belief drives behavior, right? So when I was a new coach, I was like, I'm just in this for a hobby. If I can help a person here or there, great. If not, that's okay too, as long as I'm in the best shape of my life. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I'm not a businesswoman. I'm not at my goal weight. I can't do what those people do. I didn't believe in myself. When I grew the belief in myself, I said, wait a minute. I'm just not born a leader. I'm just not born an awesome coach. I have to become her. And I can become her if I start like changing my beliefs and I start diving into personal development and I start learning to be this person that I want to be. So if you kind of think you can, like you kind of will, you know? So we need to change our beliefs. Like I said, just picturing that person that you want to become and then going after her and becoming her. Because we're not just born leaders, we're not just born coaches. You have to be like, what kind of coach do I want to be? What kind of entrepreneur, what kind of leader do I want to be? And then you got to do the things in order to become her. So, and just not staying placent. Like if you're placent, like who's like comfortable right now? Like you're just comfortable, you're just like going through the motions. You got to get uncomfortable, you guys. So I want everybody, let me see, I want everybody to raise their hands in the air. Unless you're driving a car, do not raise your hands in the air. But everybody on the call, I want to see you guys put both hands up in the air. All right, you can put them down. So most of you, let's do this again. Put your hands in the air. Some of you didn't do it. I'm not letting you out of this. Okay, now put them higher. Higher, higher. Okay. All right, you can put them down. Why did you guys only lift your hands up to your heads? Like when I said higher, everybody somehow, some way, some shape, some form figured out how to raise their hands higher. We don't push ourselves past the place of comfort. You're like, ah. But when I said go higher, you're like, go higher? Then you're like, okay, like she means business. That's what I want you guys to do in your business every single day. I want you to push yourself higher. I want you to do the uncomfortable things and push yourself past your comfort zone. Okay, next slide. How do I change my slide with you ladies in my way? There you go. All right, announcements. You guys know about our Monday night guided business hours at 8 p.m. Get on those, learn and grow. Team Beachbody Virtual Summit, July 13th through the 18th. I am working with Sam at Jwear with Philly Fusion right now, and they are creating tank tops for the team all to wear on a Saturday for the big group team workout. So stay tuned for those tank tops, you guys. It's going to be super fun to all have matching swag. Coming soon, Muscle Burns Fat. Guys, June 29th, before you know it, that is when we get free sample workout, okay? Like I am so excited for you guys to be posting in Destiny United your first workout of Muscle Burns Fat. I want to hear what you think about it, why you're excited about it. I want to see you dripping in sweat. It's going to be so much fun. Salted caramel comes out on, what, is that Monday already? Like literally yes. In a few days. Guys, this is limited supply. Like I'm telling you, when it launches, get on your computer and grab it immediately. I have a feeling it's going to be sold out in 24 to 48 hours, like no lie. So make sure you hop on and you get as many as you like, okay? All right, the June Coach Contest this week from the 15th to the 22nd, we are in qualification period. You guys need to help one person get started this week with a challenge pack in order to get into this amazing contest. Guys, push yourself. This is a push. We created this for you guys, to have fun. Who wants to have fun, right? It's fun to have new, exciting things going on. But we also created this so you guys push yourself. Push yourself this week. Go beyond the amount of invites that you normally do. Put yourself out there and say, I'm going to do anything that I have to do to get into this contest. I'm going to talk to 100 people today, engage with a ton of people, invite a ton of people, but I am going to get into this contest. So the remainder of this week, we have tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? You have 3 days to really push yourself and make sure that you get into this contest. All right, quote of the week. I had this in my personal development book. Don't let fear be the driver of your business and your life. Boom. Guys, you need to be the driver of your business and your life. There is no room for fear here, okay? So get it out of there. Kick it out of the car. You get into the front seat, you grab the steering wheel, and you take control of your business and your life. It is up to you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. We can sit here, we can cheer you on, we can pat you on the back, we can check in with you all day long. We can get on these awesome team calls and light your fire up. But when you get off of these calls, you are the driver of your life and your business. This sucker is up to you. You can drive it as far as you want to go. All righty then. Let's stop the screen share. And we are going to pass the baton over to the one and the only and the gorgeous pink-haired, not really pink-haired anymore, kind of looking brown girlfriend. We are going to pass it over to Ashley. I'm so excited to hear from her because she always brings amazing content and fire. Hi, Ashley.
Hey. Okay. So, guys, do me a favor. First of all, make sure your phone is muted. Just checking here. I think everybody is. Okay, sorry. There was just some feedback before, and I just want to double check. So, okay, my name is Ashley. If you don't know me, that's a really cool thing, actually. If you don't know who I am, it's because our team is growing so much that we literally don't know who each other are, and I love that so much. Amy talked a little bit about how if you bring somebody on the team or if you just join the team, that anything that you do is helping everybody else on the team. And that's actually directly and indirectly. So if you have people under you in the structure of our team, if you have somebody underneath you and they're ordering anything, really anything, there's PV value, personal or point value added to that, and you get paid off of that. Anyway, long story short, go look up the how you get paid guide, because you'll learn that. But anyway, here's the deal. Even if someone is not directly underneath you and you're not earning extra money from their volume, I just want you to know that indirectly, when we succeed, whether you are on my team or not, or you're on somebody else's team or your cousin team or a sister team, it builds a fire within the team. And when you do something, anything that's positive, and you share it with the team, it helps the whole team as a whole, right? And we all get excited and we all want to do more, and we all like feed off of each other. But it takes a mindset to do that, and you need to, as a person, as an individual on the team, you have to be excited for other people's success. So I don't want to go too deep into that, but what I want to say is I have lived the life of being a very, very jealous person, right? And it didn't get me anywhere. And I need you to understand that, because when you see someone succeed on the team, instead of saying to yourself, oh, good for them, but that's not for me, that's a mentality that's going to trip you up big time. So just even if you're feeling that way, don't say it in your head. Don't say it out loud. Say something positive. And if you really are struggling, message that person something positive, because whatever you put out, that positive energy is going to come back to you. So keep that in mind. Anyway, that being said, my name is Ashley, and I've been a coach for a long time. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story, but I just recently became Success Club Legend again, which means I've hit 24 months in a row of being in Success Club, which is helping 3 people at least a month. And I'm also a lifetime 2-star diamond, but at the moment I'm a 1-star diamond and a diamond and an emerald, because I have a couple business centers. Anyway, so there's a lot of things you can take from what I'm saying, but if you don't know the ranks, you might be lost on that. So let me explain really quick. When you succeed in this business, you're going to like hit these mountaintops that are really, really exciting. But on the other side, you're going to come down the mountain a little bit, and then you're going to be in a valley for a little bit, and then you're going to build it up, climb another mountaintop and you're going to hit the top. And so anyway, your road from here to here is not going to look like this. It's going to look like this, right? And so you need to know that because it's absolutely normal. So if you hit like diamond or 2-star diamond, 5-star diamond, and then the following month you're back down a little bit, don't let that hit you. Don't let it change what your mission is. Don't let it change and make you become discouraged. Don't be. Just know, oh, that's the little hill that I need to work on, and then come back up and up and up, and then the little hill. So keep that in mind. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to share tonight 3 tips that you can help your one person this week. Okay, I'm also going to share, I'm not sure, is that something that you guys want to know, first of all? Like, do you want to know 3 tips on how to help at least one person by Sunday so you can be in the contest for next week? Nod your head yes, please. Let me know. Okay, cool. We're unanimous. Also, I'm going to share a little bit about how I follow up with people, because let me tell you, when I sit down to work, I have like ADHD brain. When I sit down, like I just had to flip my phone over and put it on its face, because when I sit down to work, I literally, some people love, they sit down, they're like, ooh, I'm going to shop on Amazon. Some people are like, ooh, I'm going to see what's going on here. Me, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to watch YouTube videos. Like, it's really ridiculous. I have to really stay focused, or YouTube calls my name, which is weird. I would have never thought that would be me, but it's me. So I need to have a good system when I sit down to work, because if I don't know what's first, I'm not going to start. I'm just going to move on to something. Oh, that looks pretty over there, and that's shiny over there, and my desk needs to be cleaned, and all that kind of stuff. If any of you ever follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you see my stories and you see me working out in my bedroom, you will always see that I have laundry all over the floor, right? All over the floor, and toys and sheets. And sometimes my husband is in the bed and my sons are coming in. Like, okay, so I had to create that habit of focus on out. And it took me a long time. It took me like a year to get into that habit so that other things weren't distracting me, right? So I understand how it is when you sit down and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do next. I'm just going to do everything else. I'm going to fold my laundry. I'm going to clean the dishes. I'm going to call my mom. All those fun things. So I'm going to share those things with you. So I like to track and be able to share, blah, 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 10 invites. Oh yes, you're awesome. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read it at the same time. We cannot cut it. So important that this is okay. Cool. So here's the deal. Thank you. Something you should write down, because this is really important. In what we do as a coach, you do not need to know how to sell anything. Okay? You can really suck at sales, like detrimentally suck at sales. But if you're semi-good at following up, then you're golden. You'll crush it. You gotta be good at following up. In most sales, in most transactions, the sale doesn't come until you have followed up at least 7 times. Okay? 7. That's 7 times talking to somebody. So if all that money is sitting in the follow-up, all that big chunk of change, right? Let's just use percentages for fun, right? Because I like percentages and numbers. Let's just say you could make $10,000. No, I don't like that number. Let's just say you can make $1,000, right? And if 70% of that $1,000 is in follow-up, that's $700, right? If you're not following up, you're literally leaving $700 just sitting over there, and you're only going to make $300. Does that make sense? Like, if you're not following up, you're leaving a bulk of the money gone, and you're working harder than you need to work. Like 100 times harder than you need to work. Okay? So I'm going to go over my follow-up system. Like I said, most sales are in the sign-up. Most sales and sign-ups happen in the follow-up. You only have to be semi-good at it, and you don't have to be great at sales. So those are all really, really good things to know, right? Like, really good. Who here thinks that they can get good at follow-up? Yay! Pretty cool. Okay, so let me first give you my 3 tips, though, for hitting, helping somebody this week by Sunday, right? So first tip, The first 2 tips are going to have to do with follow-up, but I'm going to start with tip number 3, which is if you have no one to follow up, if you're literally brand new, you're in a very awesome situation right now by being brand new. I mean, your warm market is like really warm. Like you didn't even invite your best friends, your family, you didn't go down your contact list on your phone, the people who you normally text, right? I would literally just open up your text message and go down and see who you texted in the last like 2 months. And I would just message them, and I'm sure, is anybody on here brand new? I just want to know, like raise your hand if you're brand new. Cool, so this might just be for recording. If somebody listening is brand new, you probably have a goal that you're working on in your fitness, right? So let's just say I want to lose 30 pounds. So I might message my best friend, my 10 best friends, my 4 best friends, whatever, 2 best friends. I might message them and be like, hey, I don't know. And this is a singular message. This is not a group chat. I would just message them singularly and be like, hey, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. And I was really struggling at it. I just signed up for this really cool thing. You really don't even have to say anything. I just signed up for this really cool thing. And it's working so far, or I'm really excited about it working, or whatever. And be like, I'm looking to see if you want to be my accountability buddy. Can I send you info and you'll check it out and let me know if you want to join me? Literally, that's it. Just let me know if you want. Can I send you info and let me know if you want to join me? At that point, if they say yes, and you have no idea what to say, you reach out to your upline and you say, what should I say? I personally have my new coaches send them a video, but you don't need to do that, but your coach will tell you what they say, right? And you can just give them the information and then make sure you let them know there's a 30-day money back guarantee, but I'd really love for you to do this with me so we can do it together, because I really feel like if we do it together, we're going to succeed together, right? If you're brand new, you have that cool option of being able to reach out to the people that you absolutely love, that you adore, that are brand new. You know, you're brand new, you never reached out to anybody before. It's awesome. This is what's even cooler about what we do. Even if you've done other network marketing companies before, if you sold things before, if you ask in this way, it's putting you kind of like as the customer role versus the coach role. So it's not like coming across as being like, I want to sell you something. Does that make sense? And so you want to make sure that you're, even if you've done, listen, when I came into coaching, I did like 3 or 4 other network marketing companies. So I felt like I had no one left. And yet I still was able to bring in some friends and family who I've asked before about 8 million other things, right? So that's for brand new people. Okay, actually I might make it 3. 3 tips for people who have been inviting for a while. If you have not been really tracking your invites and who you've invited and who you should be following up with, which by the way, after today, you will never have that excuse again. And I will show you exactly what to do to follow up with people. But in the meantime, if you've just been inviting via like Messenger for a while, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 2 months, doesn't matter. I don't care how long it's been. You know what you say to people, right? And so what I used to do, and I might do this actually now that I'm talking about it, is I know in my rhetoric when I'm talking to people that if somebody says, yes, send me the information, I know what I say when I send that information, right? And so I might be able to take a phrase of what I say after I already know that they're interested. Follow me on this. Put it into Messenger and click search. And it will bring up everybody who you've ever talked to before about that thing. And this has worked really well for me in the past when I talked about like to be mindset, because I would never say the word to be mindset unless I already knew that we've had the conversation and that they were already interested. Does that make sense? I would never say, hey, do you want to join my to be mindset group? No, I would invite them, and if they showed interest, I'd go back and forth. So if I knew I would be saying like a phrase or a word that I knew would be like, oh, they were already interested, so I might mention this. Another example would be, I might say, because I say this a lot, do you want me to let you know about future groups? I might look up the word future groups in Messenger, and you'll see you might not see the words future groups underneath, but it'll say, do you want to search Messenger for this keyword, whatever, and you're like, yes. And then it'll bring up all conversations where you've said future groups. Does that make sense? This is a huge tip, guys. I don't think you know how big of a tip this is. This is really, really, really big. And nobody talks about it. So I am, okay? Cool. So that's a huge tip. I want to hear, actually, do me a favor in the chat. Give me some ideas of things that you might have said that you know that you can search for future groups. 2B mindset. Give me some other ideas. Put them in there. Things that you might have said after the initial invite. Yeah, accountability group. Now, accountability group might not be good enough because that might be something that you use in your invite. You don't want to use the words in your invite because you want to follow up with people who've shown interest in after the invite. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope that makes sense. Next boot camp. Yeah. I'd love to send you the info. Yep. So try to think about the next phase after inviting. Okay, so that's 1. 2, check all forms. I know that you might be like me, and Amy gave me this idea yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, yes, I need to do that. I would create like a form, and then a couple months later, create another form, and then a couple months later, create another form. So go back and check all your forms, okay? Now, why do I know these things work? Well, sadly, I'm the queen of the past of not hitting Success Club until literally the last 2 days of the month. Yes, that would be me. And I've done that many, 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 many times where I would literally wait till the last 2-3 days to follow up with people that I've been inviting all month long. And Amy would be like, Ashley, you don't even have any Success Club points. And it would be like the 29th. And I'd be like, I know, it's okay, I'll figure it out. And then I'd end up with like Success Club 8. This is not a good habit to get into, by the way. And I've already stopped this habit, but I just want you to know this is how I know this information. Yes, you drive me crazy, Ashley. Okay, so next. Yeah, cool. Tell me about your goals. That's a great one because they've shown interest already. So now you're asking them about their goals. That's a great, great thing to search for. Okay, another thing, upcoming bod renewals. Even if you haven't been in the business very long, you might have people on 3-month bod renewals. Anybody who's on the upcoming bod renewal, what you do is you go into your back office and you go into your monitor your business, I think, and then there's customers or subscriptions. Go to subscriptions, and then you look at upcoming bod renewals, right? Or any renewal, really, doesn't matter. Just a reason to invite people. I think that's 3. Did I give you 3? I think I gave you 3. Yes, I did. In the bod renewals, make sure you're telling people how much money they can save. Hey, you can let your thing renew, or I can show you how to save $65. Work out the money, figure out what you're going to save them on. Okay, cool. All right, so go ahead, Olivia.
Okay, so the question I thought was too complicated to type.
Okay.
Do you get Success Club points when, okay, let me rephrase this. You know when you're in your account on Beachbody shop, whatever, and it says like upgrade to a challenge pack. If they click that upgrade to challenge pack, do you still get 2 points, or is it better off to send them a link?
You'll still get 2 points, yeah.
Because I didn't know, because it would just be easier for them sometimes to just like click the upgrade. I didn't know if you got points for that.
Yeah, you definitely still get points for that, as long as you're linked up to them as their coach. But if you're seeing it in your back office, then you're linked up to them as your coach. So yeah, you're good. Okay, so let's talk about follow-up. First of all, I need to know, were those tips helpful? Will you help one person by Sunday? Yeah, this needs to be like, yes. Yes, I will, because what you put out into that universe is what's going to come back to you. So you say, yes, I will. I will be helping somebody by Sunday. Absolutely. 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 Okay, so let's talk about follow-up. I'm really excited about this because I started this a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's that new. I know. I've been a coach for like 10 years. I don't know if it's 10 years, but I've been coach for a while. And I just started doing this and feel very comfortable with it. And it's the first time I'm like, wow, I'm actually sticking with a system for a while. I know 2 weeks is not that long, but honestly, it's a huge difference compared to anything I've ever done before. So let me share with you what I'm doing, okay? This is very simple. Grab a pen because you're going to want to write it down. What I do is I invite somebody, right? I invite them to learn more. That's all I'm doing. I'm just inviting somebody to learn more. That's it. Just, hey, do you want to know more, right? I'll give you my invite in a minute. Lately, I've been inviting to the business side of things, and I'm going to pull this up so I can read it to you. Lately, I've been inviting to the business side of things, and if for some reason, and I do get a lot of people are like, no, I'm busy, I'm blah, 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 right? I'll follow it up with asking them if they want to learn about the, about hitting their goals. I'm sorry, I'm trying to close this down for a minute so I can look at my notes. Okay. So my invite right now looks a little different for each person, but let's just say it's a foodie. Like, I post a lot of food pictures, and so if I go to somebody's wall and they have a bunch of food pictures on their wall, I just assume they're a foodie, right? So I say, hey, hope you're doing well and safe. I wanted to reach out to you because I'm pretty sure you're a foodie like me. I think that's cute. I don't know, you may not. Anyway, I said, anyway, I work with foodies all the time to help them earn extra money from home while working on our healthy habits and making it taste good at the same time. Would you be open to taking a look at what I'm doing? If not, no worries. Just let me know either way. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go through this whole system with you, okay? And you can always come back to the recording. And if you want, I can give you the scripts wherever we post this so you don't have to like sit there and try to write every word that I'm saying down. Would that be helpful to you? Okay, cool. Let's do that. All right. So if they get back to me, if they don't, let's go with what normally happens. They don't get back to me. That's what normally happens. Guys, you are not the only one for people to like ghost. That happens all the time. So what do? I write down their name in here. I have a notebook, right? Now this journal is meant for this, but this is an easy thing to do in a notebook, okay? So I write the date at the top of when I'm inviting, and I do a new page per day. Even if I don't fill out the entire page, I'll tell you why in a minute. So I write the date at the top. I write down the name of everybody that I invited for that day, okay? So wrote down their names. Now, if they don't get back to me, I actually, every day, I go back 4 days in my notebook, right? I go back 4 days prior, I look down the list, and I message anybody who did not get back to me. Every single person who did not get back to me. And do you know what I say? Hey, just checking to see if you got my message. That's it, literally. That is it. And would you believe about 40 to 50% of people get back to me then? The weirdest thing. 40 to 50%. Why? Because we're all flipping human. We're all human. We get messages on our phone. We forget to respond all the time. My daughter sells Cutco now. She has been trying to get a hold of Amy Peters for the last like 2 months. No lie, not joking. People are busy, right? And so I just messaged them and I'm like, hey, did you get my message? Like, that's it. That's all I ask. Now, here's an example. I saved it so I could show you because some people are like, really? Do you really do that? I'm like, yes, I really do that. And let me show you what this one woman said because I thought, wow, this is perfect. I said, hey, Barbie, just making sure you got my message, ... right? She said, hello, I did receive your message. I would listen. Not sure if I'm interested, but I will give it a listen. I enjoy watching you on IG. I'm encouraged by your story and your little family is super cute. Thanks for reaching out. That's an awesome response, right? But if I didn't go back and say, hey, did you get my message? I would have never gotten that response, ever. So make sure you go back and ask them. Okay, so that's 4 days. If it's been 4 days, nobody replied, I ask that question, right? Okay, cool. So next, what if they do reply and say, sure, send me some info? Then for me, I just send them the information and I say, I'll get back to you tomorrow after you review it. Okay, so that's if they say yes. If they say no, because I'm inviting for the business opportunity, right? I'm asking them if they want to earn extra money. If they say no, which is a lot, I wouldn't say most people say no, thank you. Then I ask them, let's see, I copy and paste it, so don't ask me to say it verbatim. Hold on. If they say no, I say, thanks for getting back to me. No worries about not being interested in the business side of things right now. Curious though, would you be open to checking out what it is we do to help women gain extra energy and stick to their exercise and healthy eating goals? Right? So if you're inviting just to a challenge group and not to the business opportunity, you could start with that question, right? It's pretty simple. Okay, so let's go back to the follow-up process though. Okay, so let's say I sent them information, right? Maybe I tell them a little bit of my group. Maybe I tell them how it's helped me. Maybe I ask them a question. What are your goals? Whatever it is, whatever that next step was, and they don't get back to you. I have their name down, right? 24 hours later, if they don't get back to me, I'm making notes next to these people. 24 hours later, if they don't get back to me, I just ask them real quick, hey, hope you're doing well. Have you had a chance to watch the info? Have you had a chance to review the info? Whatever it is, right? That's 24 hours later. If they still don't get back to me 24 hours after that, right? I actually start showing some posture. Posture meaning confidence and that I don't need them. Does that make sense? See, when we do things, when I would wait till the end of the month and I'm like, oh my God, I need you. Let me tell you about a cool deal. Let me give you $10 gift card. Let me do more and more and more and more until you say yes, right? That was me needing them. But if we posture and say with confidence, we know this is going to help you and I'm going to give you the information. But if you're not interested, then just, I'm going to move on, right? So the next 24 hours, I say, hey, I never heard back from you yesterday about that video or that information, which is totally okay. Just let me know when a good time is to catch up. And by the way, if this isn't a fit for you, just let me know, no hard feelings. Okay. Now, what if they don't get back to me again? I wait 48 hours. So I did one day, and then 2 days, 48 hours. So 24, 24, 48, right? So 48 hours later, I'll say something like, hey, never heard back from you yesterday about that info. So I'm assuming this is not a good fit for you, which is totally fine. No worries. I'm just going to go ahead and cross you off my list. Gotta run. Have a great day. So take it back. Give me that. Give me that gift. Give me it back. Right? Now here's the deal. I'll probably follow up with them a month later, right? And I'll tell you what I'm going to say a month later, right? So 30 days later. Let me review. Let me scroll down. Hold on. It's called update deflect. Okay? I really like this. And I just learned this stuff. So I'm just starting it. I'm using it, but I love it, right? 30 days later, and now that I have a system to know who I should be following up with 30 days later, I say something like, just wanted to reach out real quick with what's going on. I'm super focused and productive with my business, or whatever you want to say. And listen, so that's the update part. Super, super focused and productive with my business. Now listen, if I was just talking to them about their fitness goals, I might say, hey, just wanted to reach out real quick. One of my girlfriends just lost 15 pounds with us over the last 45 days, right? Some kind of update. Hey, just so you know, I wanted to reach out because we have a new Shakeology flavor. Like if you've already talked to them about Shakeology, we have a new Shakeology flavor coming out, salted caramel, super exciting. Now here's the deflect, right? And listen, I know what I do isn't a fit for you based on what you've said before, but do you know anyone who's looking to make some extra money from home right now? If not, no biggie. Okay? And so every month I'll come up with some other like update and some other deflection. And it gives me an opportunity to reach out with them again. Now before, I used to say something like, do you want, and you can still do this too, you do what makes you feel comfortable, but a little uncomfortable. If you're too comfortable, you're not doing things right. So another thing I used to say is, hey, if I was inviting to a challenge group, no worries, now might not be a good time. Do you want me to let you know about future groups that I run? And 99%, 95% of people might say, yeah, sure, let me know. I've had people say, well, you never know if I'll be interested later. I love those people. They're like, well, I don't want that right now, but maybe one day I will, so just message me back, right? I love it. So having a system of what you're going to say is really important because it gives you confidence as to what's going to happen next, right? And if you have a system, you kind of take emotion out of it. Not that I'm not saying you shouldn't care about them. I'm saying if you take the fear or anxiety out of it and you just know what you're saying, and you're copying and pasting, but making it, for them, then you're going to have more confidence to reach out to people, right? And if the follow-up is in the sale, which it truly, truly is, it doesn't really matter so much what you're saying. I mean, it does matter what you're saying, but knowing a way to constantly reach out is really important, because then you're going to do it, right? And so the update deflect is a really cool thing for me, because I do have people in my group. And by the way, if you don't have people in your group yet, or you don't have any like success stories in your group, use your upline success. Find somebody else on your team who's having success with their group and use their story. You're still part of the same group. You're still part of the same team. So let's say I'm inviting people, and I don't want to use like astronomical numbers, like so-and-so just lost 100 pounds with us over the last, like use something that's very relatable, like lost 10 pounds in the last 45 days or something like that, right? Or I just got somebody started last month. She just earned her first $150, that kind of update. Something that's very relatable to them and believable. I mean, things do happen. We do have people lose 100 pounds. We do have people on the team making $4,000 a month, right? But we don't, you want it to be believable to the person who has no idea what you're doing, right? So make it smaller and believable. So use the smaller. That's my suggestion. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to show you real quick something that I have been doing, because this is keeping me organized. And I want you to know that I'm using a program, but you don't have to use a program. You can use Excel. You can use Google Sheets. It all works the same way, but I'm going to show you what I do with how I organize my follow-ups. So like I said, when I originally first of all, do you have any questions about my scripts that I've been using? No? Okay, cool. So I have the list here, right? And I would list down the people that I invited. I put the date up here. And then this here is like if I did talk to them and I know I have to follow up like the next day. Like if I sent them a link, I'll write sent link and then write the next day there, right? So I know I go back. Okay. But once it's like 4 days later, I don't keep going back to all these other pages previously. What I do is if I know I followed up with each person, I put a little check mark next to each person to know that I went back and said, hey, did you get my message, right? I put a little check mark there. But then if I sent them information, I'd write sent link, right? And then do that one day, put the next day so I know to follow up with them the next day. But like I said, 4 days later, what I do is I make sure I go through this whole list. If somebody needs to be followed up with on a continue, like in the next day, next 2 days, whatever, once I follow up with them once and they're actually talking to me, I should say, I put them on a sheet, like a Google sheet or Excel, but I'm going to show you my program is a little different one. Can I share this? I think I can. Hold on, I got to find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Can you see this? Okay, so I just put down their name and I put down the date in which I'm gonna follow up, that I want to follow up with them. And I just told you my system. So it's 24 hours, 48 hours, right? But if I don't hear back from them all those times, it's gonna be 1 month later. Now there are times in which it might be 1 month anyway. Somebody just told me that they're super sick and I'm like, you know what, honey, I'm going to pray for you and I'm going to follow up with you next month, right? I just tell her, I'm going to follow up with you next month. And by the way, have you ever worked with someone professional who's really good at follow-up and you have like a lot of respect for them? You're like, damn, they're good. They called me when they said they were going to call me, right? I'm a professional. I might only work a couple hours a week, but I'm a freaking professional. And I'm going to treat this like I'm a professional because I want to get paid like I'm a professional, right? So I'm a professional. I'm going to follow up with these people on that day, right? So, okay, here we go. So I put their name and I put the date in which I'm going to follow up with them. And what I do is I sit down with 3 things in front of me on my screen. I have this one all the way to the left. The middle is my Instagram or Facebook, whatever I'm using. And then to the right is my scripts. So it's boom, boom, boom. And in front of me is my notebook. It's very like, I know what I'm doing right now, right? And what I do is I start with my follow-ups and I look up the person's name in my messenger and I do that and I make sure I put the date down next to it. Then I go through and answer all my messages, right? But I start with the follow-ups, and then I do all my, like, I have a system for it now, right? So anyway, if this was on Sheets or on Excel, you would just do ascending order when you go to sit down. You would click that column and do ascending order. I don't have to, just because like it shows me tomorrow, 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 or it would show it in red if it was yesterday or today. Does that make sense? But if you're not using this, which I wouldn't, like, you have to pay for this program, and this is not like an easy you can totally do it if you want. It's called OmniFocus. It has nothing to do with the CRM. It has nothing to do with sales. It's literally just like a reminder app. But I like it a lot. Anyway, you can do the same thing with Excel or spreadsheets or any kind of spreadsheet, and just put it, when you sit down, you just right click on it and put ascending order, and then you have the people that you need to follow up with right at the top, right? So really, really easy to do. But I'm not putting people in there until I've already talked to them and they've shown interest, right? I'm not just adding everybody I invited, or it would be a mess. It would be a crazy mess. But now I know, look, I have all these people that at one time showed some kind of interest all in one place, right? You can use Google Streak for this as well. I just think it's a lot. Like for me, I always want to like fill in all of the things. And then it takes up too much time for me, right? So I like the spreadsheet better. I hope that helps you with following up. I know it's helped me a lot. If it seems complicated, I'm sorry. But for me, it looked really, really easy. And it really helped me in following up, and see, like, it's been very helpful. And then once I add those people into my follow-up system, then I can just move on past these pages. Does that make sense? So anyway, let me read these real quick. Yes, Amanda, I'm pretty sure you're talking about posturing and taking things away. And yes, you're in the position of power. Now, I mean, I don't want to, like, I'm not having power over them, but what I'm saying in that is that you want to, you don't want to be like badgering people, but you also want them to take some kind of action, especially when you start, oh my gosh, here's a good story. Did you ever, like, how do I word this? I heard somebody tell this story, and I was like, oh my God, yes, I did this with my husband too, and I can't even believe it. The whole takeaway, right? Like when you take things away, people want it more, right? So I heard this girl tell a story, and she was talking about following up people and taking it away. Like, okay, you know what? Fine, I'm taking it away, right? And then people sometimes will be like, whoa, wait, I didn't really watch the video. Can you give me another day or whatever? They'll say something. She said she didn't realize she did this with her husband when they were dating, right? And when she told the story, I was like, oh my God, I did that with my husband too. So she was like dating him kind of, and she sat down and he's like saying, they weren't like exclusively dating, and he was like, yeah, so like I'm not really thinking about settling down, I'm actually thinking about moving out of town, blah 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 blah. And she just sat there and she goes, I don't even know what made me say it, but I was like, you know what, that's cool. If you don't want to settle down, that's cool. But I'm looking for a relationship. And so if you have any friends who are looking for like to settle down and to start a family and to, really treat a woman really well and, get married and have a career and all that fun stuff, can you hook me up with them? That would be really great, because that's what I'm looking for. And that's like exactly what she said. So they parted ways that night, right? And then the very next day he calls her and he's like, I've really been thinking about it, and I actually do really want to settle down, and I don't want anybody else other than you, and blah, 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 blah. And she said, I didn't know it, but I was like taking it away. I was showing posture and taking it away. And I didn't know it at the time, but it made him like come crawling back, right? And so we were talking about, oh my gosh, I wonder how many other people that's happened to, like, is that how you get a husband? Maybe we should write a book. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, I did the same thing with my husband. We were like good friends, right? And out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere, we like connected. Like we were already friends, and then we were connected. We were like, this is kind of weird, but okay, this is cool. But he came off of a long relationship, and so did I. And he never truly 100% broke it off with her, right? He was like, hanging out with her every once in a while and all that. So anyway, he was starting to be like, I'm not sure if we were only hanging out for a couple days, and he was like, I don't know. And I was like, you know what? I totally get it. I know what it's like to come off of a long relationship, and I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want you to have any regrets. So why don't you do me a favor? You just go hang out with her, and I'm gonna just, I'm gonna do my own thing, right? And I just kind of like postured and took it away. And the next day he calls me and he's like, hey, I have like your sweater, blah, blah, blah. And we never were apart since then. So anyway, posturing is really important. And so it's taking it away. I just love it. I think it's so funny. It takes away the potential for desperation. Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to look desperate. I mean, sometimes I am desperate, but I don't want to look desperate. Anyway, by the way, that also took, long story short, I once was so desperate. I was giving away big gift cards for people, right? I'm not saying you should never give away gift cards and have like contests and things like that. That's really cool, right? But at one time I gave away a gift card like the last day of the month, and I was really desperate. Anyway, I gave her a gift card. It was like $25. It was a lot, right? She returned the package and kept the gift card. Who does that? Who does that? And she still follows me. Who does that? Anyway, don't do that. Don't look super desperate. I have an idea for an Excel type thing in my head right now. Cool. Olivia, I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited for you. Make sure you show it to us then. Anything else? Okay, I think we're all good. Does anybody have any other questions? Olivia says she gets that. She's amazing that people say that she's amazing at following up and responding to email. Message Saturday work all the time. This might be better than notebook method. I'm not saying don't use the notebook method. It kind of gives you this after I do that, because I was like being like, oh God, I have to go back to all these pages then, right? And so this gives me the thing after the notebook. Cool. All right. Who's gonna help one person sell one challenge pack by Sunday? Who's excited about that? Yes. Who's excited to figure out what the contest is all about after Sunday? Yes, me too. I'm really excited about it. All right, cool. So I'd like to get a picture of everybody. Amy, you can unmute yourself and do the picture thing.
Awesome. Okay, if your video's turned off and you're able to turn it on, please turn it on because it looks so much better. All right, guys, everybody can do their own thing. We should act like we're having fun. So like raise your hands, give some peace, whatever your thing is, do you, all right? Ashley does crazy. Alex likes to do crazy. So do you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Love it. So cute. Okay, guys, I am flipping excited. And I'm just going to tell you right now that the Amy that you see right now is probably going to be a totally different Amy in a few months. And I want you guys to be completely different people in a few months too. Next month, I have 3. Count that. 1, 2, 3 guest speakers lined up for our team calls that are going to get on here and breathe fire into you. Like, I am getting so excited, like talking to these girls and like listening to what they say. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to get onto my team, because I feel like they hear enough from us, and we just need new people to like talk. And like, so I'm excited, guys. July is going to be a freaking incredible month. June is going to be an incredible month. This month, we are going to finish with Success Club. Each and every single one of you can do it if you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, right? Do it. Don't be placent. Don't just be like, whoopsie, another day went past and I didn't really like show up or work out or drink my shake or invite or connect, or whoops, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just double up tomorrow. No, guys, make a promise to yourself. Like, make sure you do your bare minimums before you go to bed every single night. Like, treat this like a business. I'm so excited for the rest of June, and July is going to be amazing. So, all right, guys, Love you. Thank you, Ashley. Love you. Bye, guys.
Okay, guys, bye. Have a good night.